Hello, welcome to our September chat. I'm Cheryl Van Bemden, the Executive Director, and others will be participating in the chat as well. So we'll each be giving you an update and also taking time to answer some questions that were submitted. So I'd like to begin by saying Nicole Mag provided an operational update a couple of weeks ago. Some of you may have viewed that. And then just letting you know that Kim Hoppy, our Chief Financial Officer, will be giving a financial update in November after the audit is back. So if you haven't viewed Nicole's operational update, that's something you can do, and then look forward to Kim speaking to us in November. So I'd like to begin by giving you a little dining update. After much thoughtful consideration, Porter Hills decided to move from an outsourced dining model and transition to an in-house model for dining services at Porter Hills Village, the Greenhouse Homes, and Cook Valley Estates. This transition will take place on or before January 1st of 2021. Creative Dining has been a great partner over the years, and we are very appreciative for this partnership, the collaboration, and their expertise. Visitors. Visitation restrictions remain in place, as you know, until September 30. But late last week, CMS issued updated visitor guidance for skilled nursing only. CMS provides federal oversight for skilled nursing facilities. This is going to be confusing because the Health and Rehab Center and the Greenhouse Homes will be operating differently than the rest of the campus. Ideally, Home for the Aged will follow suit in the coming weeks. We are working on a plan, so please stay tuned. Currently, there was a question about a resident was visiting his wife, was very appreciative of being able to do that. Was able to give her a hug, and now wondering if his daughter could also visit. And currently our visitors limit is 2. So 2 people at a time can visit. Master planning. Rough design plan has been completed. The pro forma is currently being worked on, and the costs will be submitted at a high level. We will have to adjust design plan if costs come in too high. Once we determine what we can afford, focus groups will be organized for common space planning. Then there was some questions that were submitted that I would like to answer. One of them was, when are we going to get our flu shot program going? So the order for the vaccine has been placed, but we have not heard back from the pharmacy on an expected date of arrival. Omnicare, which is our pharmacy, has been called regarding this, but we still don't have a delivery date confirmed. You should be receiving consent forms in your mail slots this week if you haven't already. We will be using the fireside room for a flu clinic for garden apartment and townhome residents. Then, due to COVID restrictions, residents who live in licensed Home for the Aged, so this is the Village Center Enhanced Independent Catered Living and Memory Support, they will receive the vaccine from the clinical specialists in their room. Then there was another question about, why does the mulch area between the swimming pool and the 3602 entrance have no plants or landscaping like the rest of the Porter Hills property? So we are moving towards uniformity for grounds and landscaping standards for our community. A community grounds and landscaping policy has been written, and this goes into effect October 1st. A copy of the policy will be distributed to you. The policy addresses many things, including but not limited to bark mulch, courtyards, dwelling landscaping, and natural areas. Had a question from a townhome resident regarding neighbors walking on our property. They see people walking up and down the sidewalks who are not residents. Some have big dogs. Do they have free rein to walk around while we have visitor restrictions? So even with COVID, we want to be good neighbors. People are welcome to walk on our campus as long as they follow social distancing guidelines. Their dogs may walk with them as long as they pick up what they leave behind. And then finally, just an update regarding, questions about the coffee shop space. So you may have noticed the computer lab is now sales offices. So the coffee shop space, the wallpaper has been removed, it's going to get painted. The space will not be available until all the items are removed and the space reorganized. So the end of October, November, we hope to open the space back up again. So stay tuned. I know you're curious, but thank you for your patience. So the next person up will be Amy Vanderplug.
Thanks, Cheryl. So as Cheryl said, the sales offices did move into the old computer lab space. That is because Dave and myself were taking up apartments in the enhanced living area, and those need to be available to rent those out. So now there are 4 of us that are in that computer lab space, and it's working out very well. I know that many of you have noticed that there are a number of vacant apartments in the garden apartment areas, so I just want to address that first. Throughout this COVID pandemic, through these past 6 months, we have seen a lot of movement of residents. You have seen that as well. A number of our independent living residents needed to move to higher levels of care, and so that has opened up several apartments in the garden apartments area. Currently, we have 2 vacant apartments in Gardens West. We have 10 vacant apartments in Gardens East. But 4 of those have deposits on them. They're being actively renovated, and those residents should be moving in October and November. So that's good news, but we certainly do have several available garden apartments that we hope to get deposits on in the coming months. We do have a waiting list, so we're actively talking to those people, bringing them in to see the available apartment and hoping that they make the decision to move. But as you can all imagine, there's a lot of questions just about COVID still on our campus. And there are people who have said that they are going to wait until there's a vaccine before they make the decision to move. So continuing on with our census, as far as that goes, with the townhomes, we have 2 vacant townhomes, and then a 3rd one that is taken offline, meaning we are not trying to actively sell that one. In enhanced living, so this is over in the village center on the 1st floor, we have 7 vacant rooms. Again, we've seen a lot of movement, not just in independent living, but in the village center as well. So we currently have 7 openings in enhanced living. One of those apartments is reserved, and that resident will be moving in October. Then on the 2nd floor in catered living, here things are in almost constant flux. So as of today, we have 11 open rooms in catered living. One of those is reserved, but residents come and go in that area on a pretty regular basis. A number of those rooms are allocated as respite rooms, so those are short-term stays. So again, there's just a lot of movement with that. Then in memory care, there are currently 3 vacant apartments, and one of those is reserved. So overall, I think census-wise, we're doing as well as can be expected during this time of COVID. Are there more openings than we would like? Absolutely, but the sales team is working hard at filling those to the best of our ability. So that's the update from the sales team. I think next up is Sarah from dining.
Thank you, Amy. Good afternoon. Dining Services has been honored to feature Village Resident Recipes the 3rd week of each month for the last 2 months. Thank you for continuing to share some of your family favorite recipes, anything from apple pie to wet burritos. So please continue to send Dining Services those recipes for your next month. With the weather cooling off and the leaves beginning to change, we'll be including foods from in our menu to warm you up on those coming cold days. Please reach out to myself, Sarah Edwards, or Mariana Plumstead if you have any favorite items that you would like to see featured on the menu. Next Monday, September 28th, will be our fall celebration luncheon, and this will feature pumpkin and apple bisque, shaved Brussels sprout salad, grilled swordfish with autumn vegetables, and caramel apple pie with walnuts. And I have one question that was presented to me. So once the dining room reopens, will we continue to deliver meals for those uncomfortable with congregate dining? At this time, executive orders from the CDC and local agencies do restrict us from returning to communal dining. This is due to our main dining room being in a licensed area. As guidelines change, dining services will review the guidelines and resident preferences for dining and delivery. I apologize, but due to many unknown variables, we're not going to be able to directly answer that question at this time. But please know that as we're able to reopen, Dining Services is committed to ensuring that everyone is comfortable with the options presented, including delivery, pickup, and dining. And I think next up is Megan Garlock.
Thank you, Sarah. Hello, everyone. I just want to give an update on the engagement team. So we continue to adapt to the restrictions of group gatherings due to COVID-19. You'll notice an increase, however, in the virtual offerings on Boxcast, which is channel 2.1. These include Vesper services, movies, travelogues, and concerts. We are also excited to expand this in the future to offer mindfulness series, and we're open to suggestions for additional programming. In September, the rooftop garden was open for resident use. Life Lease residents are now able to enjoy bocce ball in the putting green. Bocce balls, putters, and golf balls are available for use at any time in this area. We will be hosting the return of Chef's Table for an intimate group of residents in this space, weather permitting. The grill has been a top question too in this area, so it is available for use by reservation only. If you'd like to make a reservation, please contact me to do so. And as a reminder, townhome residents are able to use the community spaces in the garden apartments at this time. Your key card will need to be reactivated if it has not been already to access the building. To have your key card activated, please contact Jill Russell at extension 10252. She will ask for the numbers on the back of your card, and she will activate your key for this purpose. I'd like to share a team member update. Courtney McCrary, who had been our wellness guide, has accepted a new position within Porter Hills. We will be hiring for this position in the next month or so. And in the meantime, please share your wellness programming ideas and questions with me, and I'd be happy to assist you. We also welcomed our new volunteer services coordinator, Carrie Colburn. She will be actively seeking out opportunities for volunteerism, both internally and with community volunteers. While volunteer opportunities have changed during this time, we're excited to explore new possibilities and redefine our volunteer opportunities for the future. And then I also had some questions that were posed, and I'd like to answer some of those for you. First question is, what is the plan for the redemption of the resident council meetings? Also, we missed the annual resident council election. What is the plan for electing new section representatives and council officers for the year starting July 1st, 2021? At the time of this recording, we continue to be unable to meet in large groups larger than 10. As a result, we're planning to host chats similar to this for the near future. The Resident Advisory Council consists of representatives and alternative representatives, and these seats rotate each year. The seats will continue for one more year, extended one more year, and we'll plan to hold an election in the spring of 2021. Those are the plans at this point. The next question is, when and under what circumstances should we resume the lecture series? When we start again, should we just continue with the series we had started, or will we start a new series? So we can begin the lecture series again following proper physical distancing protocols. This is also a program that we could offer on channel 2.1. The lecture series traditionally has been a resident-led program. And so the determination of which series to resume or perhaps restart would be up to that group. Again, I am open to offering that and will help guide you through that. The next question is, will the solarium be open for the winter? We have a number of residents who overwinter their plants in the solarium on the second floor. This process will be different than in years past. Residents will not be able to access the solarium on their own unless they live in Birch. If you would like to overwinter your plants this year, please contact me to make arrangements to, number one, pick up your plants, and then secondly, to care for your plants. We will need to know specific instructions on the care of your plants, and we'll work out a plan for how that will happen. The next question is, we heard the pool might open, and as I need to use it for water therapy, when can I start? So indeed, the Martindale Wellness Center is currently open to life lease residents by appointment. However, there are some strict limitations as to how many people can access the pool and gyms in the state of Michigan. Maddie McCarroll is our fitness specialist, and she can be reached to make an appointment in both the body shop and the pool at extension 10250. She is also currently offering outdoor fitness classes on Wednesday mornings for Life Lease residents, and we hope to continue that for the month of October. Once the weather turns, we're hoping to bring indoors some of those classes, and we'll announce how that will happen in the near future. In addition, there is a new step available for Village Center Enhanced Independent residents in the main lobby, and we have a bike available for Garden Apartment residents on the second floor atrium of the Garden Apartments West. We do ask that you clean the equipment thoroughly with the provided wipes after each use. And then, what about hair salons? That was a big question. So currently, Whiskers and Waves is open in the Garden Apartments for Life Lease residents. The Village Center Salon is expected to open in the beginning of October for essential services. More specific communication will be shared once we have confirmed the details of salon hours, how to make appointments. As a reminder, residents are only able to use salons in the area of which they reside. And now I would like to turn it over to Todd Quist.
Thank you, Megan. Hello, everyone. Just wanted to bring you up to date on some of the things that have been going on in environmental services. One was our pond path, and we had some concerns about the safety. There are some trip hazards that we found, so we had a company come out and paved several trouble areas, as well as add some rock to the foundation to help keep the ground from deteriorating any further. So if you haven't seen that, please stop by and take a look at that. Another thing we just had done in the Gardens West, you may have noticed, Crystal Clean was out, and we had a bunch of birds making homes in your vents, which I'm sure a lot of you are aware of. They cleaned all those out and put new vent covers on, so hopefully these covers will keep the birds out. So we'll continue to monitor that as it goes, but that was done recently as well. Third thing, you may or may not know, there's going to be an on-ramp that is going to start construction in the spring. MDOT has been discussing that with us, and we're trying to get all the details. But heading east on Fulton, as it goes right past our property, there's going to be an on-ramp that goes on to 96 eastbound. So they will begin construction on that sometime early next year, and we stay tuned for more details. As far as some questions that came up, I wanted to address that with you as well. The first one was the Gardens West landscaping. There's an area between west and east where the grass was turning brown and not growing very well. We attribute that to when we had a water main break at Gardens West entry area. We got it all repaired, fixed everything, put the landscaping back, and then didn't realize that the water line had been cut, so it had been getting sprinkling. We have since fixed that issue, and hopefully it's starting to recover, but hopefully it should be back to normal by next year. Second one was a question about the railings that we just installed in some of the Gardens apartments on the porches. The question was, why were they necessary? They were a safety concern, and we needed to put a railing that was 36 inches tall to protect everyone, because there was some areas, some of you already had them installed, others did not, and there was a danger that someone could fall through the screen. So that's why we put those railings on. Third was a question about recycling. The question was, do they have to, what do they do with the garbage, or do they have to clean out their recycling before they put in the recycle bin? Yes, if you have something that's recyclable, please clean it out as best you can, throw it in the recycling blue bin, and we will pick those up daily as we have been normally. Any garbage, throw in the garbage, but yeah, please don't dump any garbage in the recycling bin. And last, there's a question about the service road that leads back to Fulton Street. There was a concern that there were some maybe trip hazards. We are going to be assessing that. For now, that is a construction area. Try not to go back there if at all possible, but we will be looking at the street to see if there's any repairs that we need to do to that. And with that said, I'm going to hand it off to Cheryl. Thank you.
So we hope the updates and the answers to your questions was helpful. We look forward to meeting with you in person someday, but chances are we will be doing the same thing in October. So please submit your questions or ideas of things that you would like us to update you on. And until then, enjoy the wonderful fall weather. Thank you for your time.